Hey everybody, it's Anna from Astral Lady Tarot. I have so much pain in my throat, so I will be talking this way throughout the video, and maybe I won't be talking that much at all. This is a video about the deck that I've made, the magical guidance cards that are available on Make Playing Cards. And since I see so many people on the tarot side of YouTube pair decks, I'm going to show you which decks I would or might in the future pair this deck with. So to everybody who enjoys a good deck video, this one is for you. Just to show you, the other day, got myself some frankincense. What is this? Room spray, I guess. And yeah, I've been cleansing my home with it. It needed it. Let's first look at these gorgeous babies. Is there enough light in the shot? Because, of course, I made the darkest deck ever. Anyway, of course, as you can see, this is a photographic deck. So, let's zoom out a little bit, huh? It's a little bit too zoomed in. Let's see the other photographic decks that I have. So, starting with this 70s artwork beauty, Tantric Deini Oracle. Now, due to the white borders, the Tantric Deini Oracle definitely attracts more light, but the images themselves definitely tend to be darker. I do see, I must say, I do see some similar themes, you know, how a Deini, as we see here, is basically a dark feminine. My deck absolutely has that energy too. And look, did you see it? I never even noticed that before. Definitely some overlap. The other day, a client of mine said that my deck could also be used not only as an oracle deck, but as a tarot deck too. Because all you have to do is take out a few cards or use them as extra cards, you know, and just find the similarities. After all, I do have the 4 elements, so that would mean 4 aces, you know, and you can totally go from there. Here with the serpents, I definitely have serpent imagery in the deck. No carrot and imagery, but maybe something similar nonetheless. Okay, so if you own this beauty, and visually probably it wouldn't even be more beautiful without the border, but I'm not ready to trim this one, then this is a pretty good match, I would say, in visuals, but also definitely in tone, in the sense of, you know, that it's similar themed, you could say. Also, the backs are pretty good together. Another photographic deck is Ancient Mysteries Tarot deck. This is one of my uglies, but I think I just might love it. With these horrid borders, but again, it's just the campy beauty of tarot. I don't know what to tell you at this point, okay? So interesting, here we have clearly old and new. Let's see. There. That works nicely. Are we getting the hang of this? Another fun thing is that I noticed the other day is that you can totally do this and create a new oracle. You see how now this candle became this star, and this moon neck cough back of the head energy became the 4 of earth. Yeah, maybe drawing down the moon. God, I love these images. I think this makes sense. Yeah. So for the 3 people in the entire YouTube tarot world who own this deck, maybe pair it. Pair it. Next, Ritual Tarot. Look at this. I mean, Ritual Tarot is lush in itself and it gives so much. And this is when it gets interesting because I feel in all the other deck pairings, my deck is the one that brings the maximalist energy. Whereas here, as you can tell, it almost tones it down. Do you see what I mean? Because, of course, Ritual Tarot is very busy, and I love busy decks that still are cohesive and make sense, right? It's just so beautiful. And do you see how, I mean, this deck truly, it speaks in such a lovely voice. It's healing energy. And more than that, obviously. But I was reading with it the other day, and really I was so delighted at how well these images work. Yeah. And of course the back's quite dark. Yeah. I guess this ugly, wonderful, crazy baby technically is a photographic deck. This is the Terrestrial Tarot. And of course this works. It's almost as if this is the practical advice that you get, and then this is somehow how it might look on the astral or something. And again here, what you can do is this. I don't know, I just thought that fits so well. Isn't that something? Ooh, see how very similar that is? One more. Well, did we even get all the colors? I don't know. This deck is really quite something, guys. It's really nice to read with, actually. What do I do? Yeah, that's what I mean with, cards with different colors, more than one color. And they're all just kind of like blobs, but they're the best kind of blobs, you know what I mean? Here, probably my favorite image in the deck. I'm thinking, should I bring this one to France? It's very untraditional, and in France, usually I go for Marseille. Let's see. This, le Tarot de l'Incarnation. Oh, I am so pleasantly surprised by this deck, guys. It is by far the cardstock that we like. It kind of hurts your hands. It's a chunky deck, but it doesn't have the nice weight. It's kind of glossy. But it reads really nicely. I mean, it's a colorful, but at the same time kind of darker toned, not traditional, but looks like traditional Marseille, but it's very, very different. A lot of things were added, a lot of things were changed. Type of Tarot de Marseille. It is digital images, as you can see, which definitely is not my favorite. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. It is more diverse, which is a lovely thing. Plus, I love the court cards don't have words. For some reason that I just, there you go. Thank you, deck. Aw, listens to me. For some reason, I think that's nicer. And I don't know if you can see if it fits or not. It's something about it. Probably the black borders, but also just something about the colors and the feel of the deck makes this a good pairing, in my opinion. I know not a lot of people have this deck, but it's out there, you know. And I might bring this one to France because that is so much fun to bring a Marseille pip deck. Because of course I'm going to visit family for Christmas. Yeah, I might actually do that. There were probably 100 other things I wanted to say about this deck, but I mean, look, it's fun, right? With a different color in the middle. And, you know, something about it that I enjoy. I don't know if this is a deck that will forever stay in my collection, but I do feel, look at this beautiful Three of Swords. Oh, I do feel that both of these decks, they listen to me. Yeah, sometimes you need a deck that listens to you. So there you go. Another French deck, but not a Marseille, is the Polka, which in how I modified it looks pretty good. And this is more, it's bringing out the dark, and yeah, by lack of better term, all I know is dark at this moment with my fuzzy brain, but it's bringing out, highlighting, it's highlighting the dark. What? Is that a contradiction? I see this working as a pairing, all right? It's funny, I always saw Polka as a dark deck, and now next to my own images, it's like the light of the party. Oh, there you go. Very similar, beautiful, yeah, jewel tones. This is lovely. This is lovely. Hello, thumbnail. I don't know. Did you see? It's so moody. Everything's so moody, and I enjoy that. Oh yeah. Did you guys know that, side note, sidetrack, that December, actually Christmas, used to be a spooky holiday? Yeah, makes sense, right? Because from Samhain on, at least on this side of the planet, we are in the darker times. And the darker times are not over at Yule, right? Or at the winter solstice. So it would still be dark and then creepy, spooky times. Think about it. A Christmas Carol is a ghost story. Yeah. I know I'm totally repeating some things I saw online somewhere, but I thought that was so fun. So this is a cool pairing, I'd say. And again, it's not just visual, right? It's nice when decks pair visually well, but it's a similar, again, a similar tone with all the blood and gore. That's, I mean, sacrifice. This is the sacrifice card, okay? And then you get this, all the blood and gore of the polka, the magical guidance cards. Yeah, it's nice. Another Marseille is my beloved Trionfi della Luna. Maybe it's because it's a deck I adore, but I think it totally works. Even now, they're speaking to each other. This is all celestial cards, if you know what I mean. So, oh, guys, I don't know about the coloration, if it works, but I think it's nice to pair something that is, how do I say, purely visual, and then words are on the back, you know, with this deck that is pippish, or with pippish decks. Do you see? Somehow I feel like there's a nice, cohesive, or balanced, I'm trying to say, puzzle for me to solve. What do you guys think? I believe I've edged it in the same marker, but then this one has the blue tones under it from the first time I edged it. I've edged this one multiple times, obviously because it gets so much use. And you know, if I am feeling nostalgic, I will bring this one, because truly this is all I need. Next obvious one is Crow's Magic Tarot. I mean, yes. Oops, well, I did it wrong, whatever. Let's look at it. Very dark cards. I love that. Very strange deck. I love that too. Just so you guys know, I drew this image. I had this dream about a place I was visiting, and when I came across the beautiful temple of Angkor Wat, I somehow recognized it from my dream, and I had this feeling, and I drew it. And now this is the Astral Projection card. So these two decks obviously have similar colors. Let's see also if I can find the Moon card, for instance, or, you know, more like the blue tones. I'm not going to bother with trying to find a specific card, but just to show you, like, I think my deck has a lot of red. And I saw somebody edge it in red, by the way, beautiful. But then, you know, you get surprised. There you go. Beautiful. Thank you, tarot cards of mine. You get surprised by some cards being, you know, this type of blue and purple. High Priestess, Four of Swords. And this is Blessing, Cosmic Kiss. I mean, yeah. that is beautiful to me. How do I feel? I don't know. This is like my soul deck. So obviously that makes sense for me personally that these two would go together. You know, how this is the deck I made and this is the deck that I had this pull towards, and I knew I needed to work with these images, even though it's so weird, and it's apparently the first computer art deck ever made, tarot deck ever made. So that's interesting. But then, you know, it's why does this speak to me? But I love it. You guys know that, right? Okay, this is a bit of a risk, but for all the Rider-Waite-Smith lovers out there, perhaps if you own this vintage, gorgeous golden rider, it's vintage from the 90s. Actually, it looks 70s, but yeah. Okay, let's try this out. We get Lilith. Okay. Well, I mean, welcome to feminine power. Does this work? Oh, I think, Rider-Waite-Smith is such a staple for so many people. So why wouldn't my deck, and I used it all the time, why wouldn't my deck work with that? And maybe you have a darker, image-wise, coloring-wise, Rider-Waite-Smith, like Halloween Tarot or something else, help me out in the comments. That works even more beautifully. I just kind of went for this one because of the beautiful colors, to be honest. Yeah. Okay. Maybe Gothic Tarot. This is a very inner teen type deck for me. It's a very blue deck, but then again, it has some nice, of those jewel tones. And then finally, we have found a deck, as I suspected, that is as dark as my deck, because these cards don't reflect any light, it seems. Of course they do, otherwise you wouldn't be able to see them, but I mean, this works with all the vampires and werewolves and all that crazy over the top stuff. I think this works. It's not my first go-to pairing, I would think, but why not? When you're feeling Gothic Tarot is the way to go. Magical guidance cards, I would say, why not? It's embracing that darkness, right? Yeah, all right. Finally, I honestly don't have the strength anymore to get up and to go do more for this video. Of course, if you want to pair it with your favorite deck, pair it with the decks that you are obsessing over now, that you're working with now. I think it would pair well with Toth. After all, Toth is very magical. Maybe you can pair a pull of the Toth deck with, because it's so ceremonial magic, and this is just, rather more like lower magic, if you will, which is what I prefer. But you can kind of use this deck, my deck, as guidance in how to practically take the advice of the reading that you just did. Obviously, magical guidance cards. I almost called them magical practitioner cards or practical magical cards, All of that still sounds okay. Anyway, this was my video, and again, to remind you, I'm so sick, but I hope I did okay in the, talking to you guys. I just want to say, if you enjoyed this video, I'm going to link another one in the screen real soon that is going to be about my deck, because you can imagine I'm hella proud of this, okay? So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for supporting my work. That is so lovely to see patrons coming along, people buying my deck, ordering my deck off of Make Playing Cards, people commenting, liking, and sharing my videos. I really appreciate that so much. So have a lovely rest of the month, and I'll see you next week. Bye.